Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel 4. I didn't think yesterday's news video could have got the hype it got, and then today we're even more on a pedestal now. We're getting even more excited because we're not just talking about Caicedo today. We are also talking about a new Chelsea captain, Romeo Lavia. Let me just get my notebook. We're talking, all right? We've got the list back out again. Lavia. AFC Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup, Caicedo progress, Reece James, Vlahovic, David Washington, Callum Hudson-Odoi, Joao Felix coming back, and stealing Mohamed Kudus from under the noses of Brighton. It's a bumper news video, so buckle yourselves in. Get yourself a drink. I'm on holiday at the moment for the next 2 days, so make do with this behind me all we can. It's not quite the nice, beautiful sounding, soundproof foam of the office, but today we are on a little trip. And Chelsea, we're going to need to take a trip to the bank, withdraw a load of cash, because we're about to spend an absolute fortune. I think today is the day that we get some confirmation about some deals. And this broke last night, just after I went to sleep. David Ornstein, and that's when you know Chelsea are serious. Southampton have tonight received an offer from Chelsea for Romeo Lavia. CFC proposal, 48 million, including ads. Closest anyone has come to Southampton's 50 million valuation of the player. 19-year-old, subject to multiple rejected bids from Liverpool. Dialogue continues. Chelsea going in with a £48 million bid for Lavia is interesting for a multitude of reasons. There are many ways this is being looked at. Is this Chelsea's contingency plan because Caicedo isn't going to happen? Have we looked at Caicedo and thought, well, instead of spending 100 million on him, which is all that Brighton are going to accept, then Tyler Adams for 20, Lavia for 50. That's two players there for 70 million, 30 million less than Moises Caicedo. I do not believe this is the case. I think the Tyler Adams news has kind of acted like a decoy so that Chelsea can go in and hijack Liverpool's move for Romeo Lavia alongside the signing of Moises Caicedo. Now, you guys saw the video I posted a couple of days ago where I said these four players complete Pochettino's transfer window, and I think it would be a dream, a perfect scenario, if Chelsea signed all four of those players. I said Vlahovic, Elise, Lavia and Caicedo. Blimey O'Reilly. If Chelsea's midfield rebuild ends up with Lavia and Caicedo, with Enzo Fernandez in this midfield, with Conor Gallagher and Andre Santos, and Leslie Ugochukwu, what an incredible two transfer windows for Chelsea to revolutionise the entire team. Chelsea's defence is solid. If we sign Romeo Lavia, 19 years of age, already done it in the Premier League for Southampton, and a player that Chelsea have never exited the chat of this one. It's always been Liverpool making the bids, Liverpool getting rejected, and Chelsea have kind of just been quietly waiting to see how this one went. I think if we were desperate for Lavia, we would have gone for him before. I don't think it's about desperation. I think it's about looking at the time now in the transfer window. Pochettino has had opportunities to look at his squad, work with this squad, and I think maybe he's been like, look, all right, if we've got the money to do so, Caicedo and Lavia is an absolute dream of a window. Still 2 million less than what Southampton have asked for, which you could be like, well, why don't we just pay the 2 million? They want 50. If they reject this bid, then we look a bit silly. Or maybe it's the case of, right, we're playing Liverpool on Sunday. Let's just not let them get Lavia now because we're going to try and steal him instead. I think this is incredible. If Chelsea get this done, Lavia and Caicedo, we have won the transfer window because that will give us a midfield for the future. There is also a definite element here where Christopher Nkunku being out for 4 months, probably won't get to see him play for Chelsea until December. Is this going to shift Pochettino's idea about how the team tactically sets up this season? Is it now we go with a 4-3-3 until Christopher Nkunku is back because we're not sure about targets for the number 10? So in that case, you get a midfield three of Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia, which I don't know about you lot, this sounds like an absolute dream. But we move now to just discuss some minor news, but it's still quite an exciting South London derby, this one. Chelsea at home in the Carabao Cup second round. Yes, we're in the second round this year, against AFC Wimbledon. The dream tie. I just want to see Chelsea go as far as possible in the competition this year. No disrespect to AFC Wimbledon, it's a South West London derby. It's going to be brilliant. Chelsea have got Wimbledon in the Carabao Cup, if you didn't know. We move to the updates around Moises Caicedo, Chelsea's #1 target. This comes from Simon Phillips through Rahman Osman. Chelsea have made progress on Caicedo as of close of day today. Deal still not done yet, of course, but Chelsea sources say it has been an encouraging day and hope to seal the deal before Liverpool this weekend. So, Fabrizio Romano has also said it is the dream for Chelsea to have Caicedo available to at least be paraded around Stamford Bridge, to be announced before kickoff. Imagine the hype around Stamford Bridge, Liverpool, Pochettino's first game, and then we walk out Moises Caicedo after the longest transfer saga that I can remember. We wanted him in January, didn't get him, didn't really push for it because we're pushing for Enzo. Now, he's the #1 summer target, and Chelsea are confident after a big day yesterday within the negotiations with Brighton that a deal can be struck. And I'm thinking, this is Thursday. We are right now on Thursday morning. You guys watching this video, if you haven't already, please hit the like button and, of course, subscribe so that you don't miss any more videos like this one to do with Chelsea Football Club. I've got a feeling today's the day. I thought earlier this week it might have been, but things do seem to be moving quicker now. Chelsea will want Caicedo, if possible, to be able to do his medicals on Friday. If we're doing all of the financial business stuff today, on Thursday, medical for Caicedo tomorrow, and then hopefully, probably not, but we could try and get him registered in time to be in the squad against Liverpool. I don't think he'd start because, well, he probably don't even know the names of half the players he's playing with. Or he probably does, but you know what I mean? It would just be a bit soon. But at least knowing, with that Liverpool game coming on Sunday, the atmosphere at Stamford Bridge, I wish I was there. I was supposed to be, but I'm not now. I'm on a different kind of holiday today. But Moises Caicedo, this is looking good. The next story that we are going to discuss is something that I have wanted to see now for a very long time. And Mauricio Pochettino has absolutely delivered here what I think is the dream scenario when it comes to the Chelsea captaincy. Reece James is the new Chelsea captain. Ben Chilwell is the new vice captain. I've always wanted Reece to be the Chelsea captain. There was a time, I'll admit it, I wanted it to be Mount for a little while. But now, never going to happen. He's a Man United player. The proper Chelsea boys are still here. Reece James, who's been at this club for his whole career, at 23 years old, becomes the youngest ever Chelsea captain apart from Ray Wilkins in 1975, and he was 18 years old. But in the modern era, Reece James is slightly even younger than John Terry was. And I did see something on Twitter, I think it was Dubois. He said that the last time a 23-year-old who was born in December got given the Chelsea captaincy, we went on to win the league that season. It was John Terry back in 2004. Reece James now. All in all, I don't think there is a better representative of Chelsea who could be Pochettino's captain. We've seen it in the early stages of pre-season. They seem to have a close relationship on the training ground. A lot of people are saying, well, surely it should have been Thiago Silva. And I would say that Thiago Silva probably gets given the captaincy as a sentimental decision. Yes, brilliant leader, brilliant captain, but because he's probably in his last year of his career, that's probably why people are thinking, yeah, give it to him and then Reece can take it off of him. Reece is ready now. Reece embodies everything that being a Chelsea player is all about. He knows the club inside out. And when we're going through this transition to a new manager, new owners, new way of being at the club, you need somebody who's been here longer than anybody else to carry that mantle and guide people. And I think for Reece, we know how great of a footballer he is. Yes, we're desperate to see him stay fit. We want to see him being Chelsea's captain, not just on the pitch, off the pitch. But we want to see him playing 38 games a season, if we can. And now, this could just be that added little bit of spark that he needs to take the game to the next level. It's been a dream of his whole career, to captain Chelsea Football Club. The comments that he's had to say about it, this was on Twitter. Captain of Chelsea, a real honour and proud moment for me and my family. From the bottom of my heart, I want to thank everyone that helped on the journey. The role is new to me, but I'll do everything to lead our club back to where we belong. Winning titles, see you at the bridge. Lovely little comment that from Reece. And with Ben Chilwell as vice-captain, the great thing about this is these are high-energy players and they are leaders. We might have a very young squad, but Ben Chilwell is also a leader within this Chelsea dressing room. And I like the fact here that Pochettino has picked his captains for the now and also for the future. Both players are going to be here for a long time. Both players are starters for me, if and when they are fit. And we've just got to hope now that they actually remain fit. I'm delighted that Reece James is the Chelsea captain. Moving into some updates on the Dusan Vlahovic to Chelsea situation. This is from Fabrizio Romano. More on Dusan Vlahovic. Chelsea have no intention to proceed with swap deal at Juventus conditions, as they keep asking for 40 million euros plus Lukaku. That's why the swap is currently in standby, with Chelsea at different options, looking at different options. Lukaku agreed a 3-year deal with Juventus. Look, there are two parts of this that, as much as I think Vlahovic could be a good option for Chelsea as a striker, I don't like the idea that we're having to pay 40 million euros as well as give them Romelu Lukaku. And secondly, why has Vlahovic not really agreed anything with Chelsea? If Juventus know that they want that deal to happen, Chelsea, if they wanted that deal to happen, why is there no signs that Vlahovic wants the move the way that Lukaku wants the move here? We've heard rumours that Vlahovic might not be interested in this deal because of no Champions League for Chelsea. Yes, okay, if Chelsea aren't going to get anywhere close to the 40 million euros that Juventus are asking for, then maybe we've not prioritised personal terms with this deal when it comes to Dusan Vlahovic. But, again, when we're looking at the money we're trying to spend across the pitch, back in the defensive midfield positions, Lavia, Caicedo, that's going to be 140, 150 odd million quid, which is no joke. That is a serious stake of money. It's a serious sum. So maybe Chelsea are going to retract this idea of bringing in another striker, bringing in another number 10. We're going to talk about Kudus a little bit in a moment. But at this moment in time, it is not looking as though Chelsea will be willing to go closer to Juventus' valuation of what the money they want to receive for Vlahovic will be. And still, with Lukaku, the longer this goes on, the more antagonised I feel. The more annoyed I am that he's still getting money from our club. I think he's back at Cobham at the minute. He's in Chelsea training gear. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it. I want Lukaku gone. He doesn't want Saudi Arabia because he still thinks he's one of the best strikers in the world. Piss off, mate. Just go home. Nobody wants you anywhere near a Chelsea shirt. But we move before I start to get mad about him again. I don't want to keep talking about him, to be honest. David Washington will travel to London at the end of the current week to sign as new Chelsea player. We spoke about this yesterday. 20 million euro package, add-ons included, agreed yesterday. AS Monaco tried until the end, but never had chances, as David only wanted Chelsea move. Here we go, confirmed. This is another one that, as much as we can get excited about the potentials of the Lavia deal, Caicedo deal, watch this space with Washington when it comes to potentially being a part of the squad for this season. Because if we spend loads of money across loads of different areas over the field, maybe a position will become available for someone like Washington in the first team squad if Pochettino cannot get his other top targets. The next story is Callum Hudson-Odoi. He's still training at Chelsea right now, but he's absolutely surplus to requirements, and Chelsea are looking to finalise a deal with Fulham to see Hudson-Odoi move across to the West London rival. Chelsea have been clear. Hudson-Odoi, Lukaku and Ziyech are not part of the club, not part of the plans. I just want to say here, we're coming towards the end of this video, but how good is it? The brutality behind Chelsea's clear out. The midfield, if the targets that we've spoken about and got excited about in this video, if these targets come, How good is what we've done in terms of we have seen how bad things were. We knew the dead wood that needed to go, and we've got rid of almost all of it, and we're still adamant that even though some of these players are still here, we're not wavering. And at least for me, when I look back at what I was doing a few weeks ago, maybe a month, 2 months ago now, looking at how to rebuild this Chelsea squad under Mauricio Pochettino, it's basically gone almost exactly as I wanted it to. And the quality of players we're bringing in to replace all of these players that we're getting rid of is significantly above and beyond everything that we have had before. We move in to discuss João Felix. I brought this one up a little bit yesterday, and a lot of you guys in the comments were like, actually, you know what, Benson? That is not an awful idea. A loan move for João Felix. At the moment, Chelsea's stance on not wanting him back at the club remains the same. Atletico Madrid, they don't really see a plan for João Felix either. He's kind of become that guy, a bit like Lukaku, but less of an arsehole. He's become that guy that just nobody seems to want. Or maybe clubs want him, but Atletico Madrid are just keeping that price way above what it should be. They spent a lot of money on this guy from Benfica a few years ago, but he's never been that kind of level of player. He is a niche player, he's a great player, and I do think maybe it's a good idea for Chelsea to look at João Felix for a loan again. With Nkunku out until December, we're going to need another number 10. I'm not sure if we can solely rely on Carney Chukwuemeka, or is it now, like we said earlier, we want Caicedo and Lavia, so it's now 4-3-3. Is that what Pochettino is going to do? There's going to be another video out either later today or tomorrow talking about these alternative tactical approaches that Poch could have. The final story, and this would actually be filthy ridiculous of Chelsea if we did this. Mohamed Kudus, the move to Brighton has stalled. It's not over for Brighton. They still might get Kudus in. The reason it's stalled is because of what they have been doing with Caicedo. As a result of seeing the treatment of Caicedo, keeping him at Brighton, pricing him out of a move up until this point, Mohamed Kudus is refusing to sign a deal at Brighton unless Brighton include a release clause. They don't want to be a stepping stone club, but the reality of the situation is that is all they are. Players aren't going to come to Brighton because they got into Europe once. It's the truth. They're going to come to Brighton because it's a great opportunity to play in an up-and-coming team under a good manager to showcase themselves for a bigger move to a massive club. That is what it's going to be, and that is what it will be until Brighton continuously keep themselves in a European place for the next 5 years. So, Mohamed Kudus to Chelsea. We have heard these rumours for the last couple of weeks. We were super interested. Can play in that attacking midfield position, brings goals, brings assists, has a wand of a left foot, can play with his right too. Kudus to Chelsea. Is there a way here? All three, Lavia, Caicedo, Kudus, are Chelsea about to pull off the triple swoop of destiny? The triple swoop of dreams? The ultimate midfield rebuild in one transfer window? Well, and Enzo from January. I've got a funny feeling we're on the verge of Chelsea doing an absolute, complete and utter madness. Today, tomorrow, before that Liverpool game, things are getting tasty now. Will Southampton accept that bid for Romeo Lavia? There's going to be so much more to discuss, so if you're not yet subscribed to the George Benson Football channel, now's the time to do so. Hit the like button on this video if you enjoyed it, and let me know your thoughts on all of these stories in the comments down below. Come on, you Blues.